Good afternoon and good day, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, our group members would like to sincerely thank our course coordinator and tutor, Mr. Ermasi and Mr. Selwyn, for your invaluable support and guidance throughout the entire work of this report. We value your expertise and acknowledge knowledge for being instrumental in guiding and shaping the direction of this research report. The presentation outline will include an introduction, summary of findings, summary discussion, and conclusion and recommendation. Our research topic is based on the impact of financialization of everyday living in the Solomon Islands context. To be able to understand and contextualize the impact of financialization of everyday life, it is important to understand, first of all, the culture of Solomon Islands and the history background of this country. Solomon Islanders share a diverse history and cultural background. The population is mostly of Melanesian descent, but is also made up of Polynesian, Micronesian, Chinese, Europeans, Africans, and Asians. The islands have been settled since at least sometimes 30,000 and 28,000 BCE, with later waves of migration, notably the Lapita people, mixing and producing the modern indigenous Solomon Islands population. In 1568, the Spanish navigator Alvaro de Medina was the first European to visit them. Some of the earliest regular foreign visitors to the country were whaling vessels from Britain, the United States, and Australia. They came for food and water from late in the 18th century, establishing a trade relationship with Solomon Islanders and later taking on board islanders to serve as crewmen on their ships. Sometimes they take them by way of blackbearding. Relations between the islanders and visiting seamen were not always good, as sometimes there was bloodshed. A knock-on effect of greater European contact was the spread of disease to which local people had no immunity, as well as the shift in the balance of power between the coastal groups who have access to European weapons and technology and inland groups who did not. Beginning in 1840s, the accelerating in 1860, airliners began to recruit, often kidnapped as laborers for the colonies in Australia, Fiji, and Samoa in a process known as blackbearding. A brief summary on the colonial period. In 1884, Germany annexed northeast of New Guinea and Bismarck Archipelago, and in 1886, they extended their rule over the North Solomons, covering Bougainville, Buka, Choiseul, Sutherland, Isabel, and Odong Java atolls. In April 1896, colonial official Charles Morris Woodford was appointed as the British acting deputy commissioner and confirmed in post the following year. Woodford set up an administrative headquarters on the island of Tulagi, just opposite Honiara, and in 1898 and 1899, Reno and Bellona Islands, Sikayana and Santa Cruz Islands, and outlying islands such as Anuta, Fataka, Temutu, and Tikopia were added to the protectorate. In 1900s, under the terms of Tripartite Convention of 1898, 1899, Germans ceded the North Solomon to Britain minus Buka and Bougainville, the later becoming part of German New Guinea despite geographically belonging to Solomon's archipelago. Woodford and funded administrations struggled to maintain law and order on the remote colony. The British colonial government attempted to encourage the establishment of plantation by colonists. However, by 1902, there were only 80 European colonists residing on the island. Attempts of economic development met with mixed results. Though Livers Pacific Plantation Limited, a subsidiary of Livers Brothers, managed to establish a profitable copra plantation industry, which employed islanders, which employed many islanders. Small-scale mining and logging industries were also developed. However, the colony remained something of backward, with education, medical, and social services being the preserve of the missionaries. Violence also continued, most notably with member of Collins Administrator William R. Bell by Basiana of Koyo, people of Malaya in 1927, as Bell attempted to enforce an unpopular head tax. Several Koyo were killed in the retaliatory raid as Basiana and his accomplice executed. Therefore, the objective of this research is the research will try to find out the impact of financialization on everyday life in Solomon Islands. Two, will try to find out whether financialization of everyday living has caused a cultural shift in the economy. And third, and finally, to provide some recommendations for financialization of everyday living adaptability. How will people adapt to this shifting culture? Thank you very much. I will now pass on to the other speaker to take on from here. Thank you. Studies have confirmed that financialization of everyday living has had both negative and positive impact in societies at large. A study on financialization on a group of women in Africa highlighted how the cultural labeling of women as housewives deter the women's involvement in the economic societies. Similarly, Solomon Islands is not an exemption. The culture of Solomon Islands is very much similar to the cultures of the countries in the Pacific and other countries where origination is concerned. General sharing is priceless when we talk about the barter system. People freely give um, goods to other people without cash in. The modernization of the traditional economy has changed the culture and norms of the society. We will see this in the findings report. However, the catalysts of change include at large formal education system where literacy and numeracy are promoted and taught in formal schools and education system. When European introduced trade, they came in with European products and exchanged them with local food or the exchange with land in the Solomon Islands. This involves the financialization of Solomon Islands product, meaning the commercialization of some of the products in the Solomon Islands in those years back at that time. So studies have confirmed that the introduction of modernization, civilization, um, this broad topic of globalization brought with it many impacts to the societies. Thank you. The group would also want to highlight some of the issues faced by household in Honiara and how it affects their uh, cultural norms and living in the society. One is inflation. Inflation is eating away the purchasing power of a certain individual and limits his or her ability to save money for future needs or even to do retirement saving in places like um, in institutions like the pension fund or personal savings in the bank for development and sustenance of each individual's life. High employment rate. This is one of the major factors affecting the cultures, affecting or has changed the culture of Solomon Islands in the current context. Solomon Islands is composed of more young people than old people, and a big number of the young age, or those that are counted in the workforce, are not employed, meaning that they don't have a source of income in their livelihood. This has also challenged um, this group of people. Cultural obligation. Cultural obligation is also a factor affecting business operations, individual income, in a way that even if you are running a business, you want to do savings. There are cultural obligations like paying bride price, attend to expenses for funerals, attend to needs of the families. And this has eaten away the capability or the ability of a firm or an individual in the economy or in the society. Religious obligations. These are similar factors which undermines the ability of a person to do serving or to be involved in the modern economy. Therefore, researchers confirm that financialization of everyday living has had impact in the lives of people. Analysis and findings. Solomon Islands is a nation in the South Pacific with a diverse cultural landscape with economy that may have been influenced by elements of financialization. However, it is important to note that the degree to which financialization impacts everyday life, cultural and social Islands can vary widely based on a variety of factors, including urban-rural divide, access to financial services, and government policy. Some potential ways financialization might impact everyday life and cultural norms in the Solomon Islands are access to financial services and values and priorities. In here, this refers to the access to banking services such as savings, loans, and other financial schemes such as women saving clubs, credit unions, and microfinances. Secondly, urbanization and consumer culture and rural versus urban divide. People from rural People move from rural to urban areas in search of employment opportunities as access to financial services. And three, education and aspiration and income inequality. Financial education and literacy. Individuals may aspire to pursue financial career or engage in financial activities, potentially shifting priority away from traditional occupation or ways of doing things. This slide actually outlines how financially responsible behavior in a given cultural context affect people. One, savings and living within our means. In here, one, it is considered financially responsible to save a portion of one's income regularly, setting aside money for emergencies or expenses, unexpected expenses. Two, debt management and investment and long-term planning. Here we refer to attitude towards debt. This involves paying off high interest debt first, avoiding unnecessary debt, and using money responsibly. Three, in this area, financial education, family support, and charitable giving. We are referring to contributing to family expenses or helping others in times of need. One other financial responsible behavior is charitable giving or contribution to social issues. In here, we outline how financialization can have impact on future retirement income. Um, for positive impacts, we the findings confirm that financialization can offer retirement a broader range of investment opportunities, including stocks, bonds, real estate, and various financial products. And two, access to sophisticated tools. Financial technology have made it easier for individuals to access and utilize uh, sophisticated investment tools and strategies. The following are the negative impacts. One is market volatility. Increased market volatility and retirees who rely heavily on stock market investment may experience significant fluctuations in the retirement portfolio. Two, income inequality. Those with access to financial markets and sophisticated investment strategies may benefit disproportionately. Three, increased complexity. Financial markets become more complex. Retirees may find it challenging to navigate them effectively. And the final negative impact is financial services cost, which is common. Retirement savings often involves fees associated with managing investments, trading, and financial advisory services. Our limitations in carrying out this research, we have the following limitations. One is timely provision of information by group members. There is very low response time in providing information due to our locations and other commitments. Two, limited level of expertise. Understanding of the topic is relevant here, but most of us, some of us are working in the government, some are working in other institutions, and the concept or the topic is not widely known, and we have limited level of expertise in this area. Three, limited sources of information and evidence. This is due to the coverage and the commitment by members to go out and source information. Limited research of information evidence gathered from organizations, despite there are a number of organizations existing around the country. Um, Commitment is not invested in this area. Four, group members' time commitment. Some of our group members are working students. We have also encountered difficulty meeting even during weekends. And the final limitation is financial constraint faced by group members. Um, Around 70% of the members are not working uh, students, therefore, financial commitment, they have constraints. Uh, we have constraint in those in this area. Due to these limitations, we also produce recommendations for future research. This is partly covered in the main paper, but I wish to outline it here. One is based on the limitations, more time to be invested to carry out detailed research. On finance, it is important to develop a budget and secure money to mobilize and do detailed data collection since the topic itself is important for the country. The recommendation for research proposal development of a research proposal is important to guide the research process and data collection. For Fourth recommendation is commitment. Researcher to be committed and concentrate to fulfill the research project. What we experience is that we are working, therefore less commitment is invested on the research. And for data collection and information, um, we have secondary information available, but primary data is very important and is needed to confirm findings in the secondary data and also to theorize what is financialization, impact on financialization in everyday living in the Solomon Islands context to navigate the cultural and impacts of financialization. For conclusion and recommendation, challenges: if people can save a good portion of their income, salaries or wages, there would be sufficient capital to do development for sustaining people's living standard and increase their standard of living. Spending habit hinders personal saving. In Solomon Islands, saving the level of saving by individuals is very low. People receive money, they receive income and revenue from various sources, and this culture of spending diminishes people's ability to save money for future. And low investment for financial future and development due to lower savings, there will be there is low investment in organizations or in personal circumstances or individuals and the society to save enough money for future developments. And the financialization itself, the topic itself, has a permanent impact. It permanently changes the culture. Therefore, there is a need to adapt to modern this modern practice, which affects our cultural norms in our societies. And this is the final slide. And I wish to thank the team members and also the tutors and the lecturer himself, and also people who are working very hard to compile this research. Once again, thank you.